guys, my name is Grace, and in this video we're going to talk all about the dog sport FastCAT. Now this video will be a beginner's guide because when I first got started in FastCAT, I was struggling to find the best ways to prepare my dog Resa for FastCAT. So after I attended my first FastCAT, I wanted to share with you all the best tips on how to get your dog ready for their FastCAT. Alright, let's get started. So what exactly is FastCAT? FastCAT is the dog sport where your dog runs on a 100-yard dash to see how fast your dog can run in seconds, which are converted to miles per hour, and you try to work on getting your dog's speed up higher and higher so you can earn different titles depending on what organization you're doing it through. Now FastCAT is specifically through AKC. However, there is lure coursing and other things that can be through like International Dog Sports Association and a few others. So some of the basic rules of FastCAT is when you get your dog onto the course, there's going to be a line that is set back from the starting line where the timer starts, and that's where you're going to have to hold your dog and you cannot step past that line. Now if your dog is smaller, you'll get to go a little bit further ahead. If your dog is bigger, then you'll have to release your dog farther back. Now in FastCAT, you are not allowed to walk down the course before or during your dog's run. Your dog is also only allowed to wear a flat collar, no prongs, no e-collars, no choke collars, and there can be no tags on the collar. Now, some people choose to run their dog in a flat collar. Other people choose to run their dog with no collar. Now, it's up to you and what your preferences are. You can also buy a collar that when you pull it, it's a quick release. So when your dog is ready to go, you can release it quickly and then your dog can go running. It just depends on what your preference is. With Resa in her first run, we had a collar just so that we could hold her until she understood how to run it. However, in future events, I may try to run her without a collar and see if that helps her at all with the release and everything. One thing that I did not know going into my first FastCAT event, and this would have helped me know this, is that if you are the catcher, which is the person on the other end who will catch your dog when your dog has run the course, and depending on what you are, you may be the releaser or you may be the catcher. You can pick what is best for you and your dog, but if you are the catcher, then you are allowed to call the dog so that they know that you are down there and to run down the track. With Resa, her first run, she wasn't sure where I was because I chose to be the catcher. So when I was able to call her, she was able to find me, and then that's when she started running, and then she was chasing the bunny, but also she came directly to me once she got down to the catching zone. When choosing whether you should be the catcher or the releaser, it all just depends on two things. First of all, do you have someone else who can help you? So you're bringing someone else along with you to the event that can either release or catch. The second thing is your dog comfortable with being released or caught by either a stranger or someone who they aren't as comfortable with, or maybe they live in the same house with, but they prefer you over the other person. So like with Resa, I knew if I was at the other end and she knew where I was, she would probably come running towards me faster, especially since she does get a little nervous in high dog barking areas. So there was a lot of dogs barking, so I had my dad release her, and that worked really well because she knew my dad, so she was comfortable with him, but he was able to release her, and then I was able to encourage her to come all the way to the other end of the 100 yards. So the main reason I decided to create this video was how to show you guys how to get your dog comfortable or get your dog to understand how to chase a white plastic bag down a course and be excited to chase it. Now, when I looked getting ready for my first FastCAT event, I didn't really find articles or videos on how to get your dog excited, so I just tried some things, and what I did is I took a white rag and then I attached it to a long lead or rope, depending on what you have, and then I had a helper pull the ropes as fast as they could, and then I got my dog excited by holding my dog back so they couldn't chase it, and then I would let them go and chase after it. That really built the want in my dog to go chase something that's not normally considered a toy, so that when we got to the event, even though there was distractions, dogs barking, new environment, lots of new smells, she saw the white plastic bag and she was like, oh, fun toy to chase, let me go chase it. And then she was able to run successfully. I'm going to show you a few videos of what I did with the white rag and long lead to get Resa excited about it, so that you understand more what I did and how I got her to a point that on the day of she was ready to go and chase the white rag.
Okay.
So, if you've done any other dog events, you know that you're going to have to fill out an entry form, or what's also called a premium. Now, these would be best to be filled out and sent in and submitted before the day of, as especially with FastCAT being a very popular sport, it does fill up fast, and even if you get there early, sometimes there won't be day of entries available. So definitely filling out those premiums and sending them in, that's definitely recommended. And most people, if you email with questions or anything, they are happy to help, and the organizations are more than welcome to help sort through questions or things that you're not sure on the premium. And if you have any questions when filling out premiums, just comment on this video and be happy to help in any way I can. So, you've filled out the entry forms, you've practiced with your dog, and you're ready to get all packed for your first FastCAT event. Now, what do you need? Well, first of all, you need to make sure that you have water for both you and your dog, especially if it's going to be hot, and these sports are normally in the summer. So I know up here where I live, you have to be careful of the heat, especially if your trials are in the afternoon. You will also need 2 leashes, 2 collars possibly. So if you're running your dog with no collar and you're taking off their collar and then releasing them, your catcher is also going to need a collar and a leash. Another option would be is one of you, either the releaser or catcher, has a slip leash, and then the other person has the collar and leash. Definitely make sure to bring 2 or more leashes, because leashes are very important in this sport. Also make sure that you have snacks for you, or lunch or a meal, also treats for your dog. And then another thing is a warm-up routine. Now this is for your dog to get them warmed up so that they don't stiffen up right after their run. So for a warm-up routine, I've asked a couple people and I've done some research, and you can do different things from stretches like making your dog spin in circles, do bow, lie down and sit, puppy push-ups, or you can just walk them around for like 15 minutes just to get them moving and warmed up. I've also heard some people, they lunge their dog, which with horses is where your horse is attached to a long line and they walk or trot circles around you. You can do the same with your dog if your dog knows how to do that, or it's a good spot that you can do that. Either way, it just works, and just making sure you have a warm-up routine will help you have success with your dog, and it may even increase your dog's speed. Alright, so it's the day of the trial. You have pulled into the parking lot, gotten a parking spot, and you're ready to go. So, what to expect when you first get your dog out of the car is you got to make sure you are there in your time slot. Now, different events do it different ways. The event I went to, they had both of your trials were between a 1-hour time slot. So mine was 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So when that time slot comes available, what you'll need to do is you'll need to take your dog, get them checked in. Now there'll be a check-in booth, there'll be signs everywhere, and if you need help, there are lots of people who can help you in any way. Once you get there, you're going to have to do a health check. Now that just means you're going to just walk your dog back and forth. Someone's going to say, yep, you're good, your dog's not lame. Or if your dog is lame, they're going to say, sorry, you cannot run. Now, if you have a female dog, whether or not they are spayed, you'll have to do a heat check. So that's where they'll hand you like a white paper towel, and you'll have to wipe their area and then show them that your dog's not in heat, and then throw it out, and you're done with your health check. Once your health check is done, then you'll have to wait for your name to be called, or what some events will have is they'll have a checklist with what where you are, which section of the trial that then you can run. Now, once your dog has run the course, you have to, if you're doing a second trial that day, you have to get the health check done again, or else the points or the run will not go towards any titles, and AKC it will not be registered. I don't know exactly if that's the case with other associations, but I'm assuming because the health check is very important, it's probably going to be very similar. Now, let's say you don't have someone to catch or release. I would recommend you probably catch your dog, unless your dog is really nervous, because your dog is more likely to come towards you if they're nervous than run away from you. But let's say you don't have anyone to release your dog, then there's usually volunteers, part of the organization, that will either do it for free and just release your dog, or for a small fee, they'll release your dog for you. Once then your dog has run, you've caught your dog, you can then get your qualifying ribbon, which will be at the end of the course with the judges with their timers, and then they will write down your score, or they'll write down your time, and then either you or they will convert it to miles per hour. So you finished your first trial. Now if you're going to do a second trial that same day, like I said earlier, you'll have to do a health check again. You want to keep your dog still warmed up, because you don't want your dog to stop moving and sit down in between your trials. Your dog will stiffen up. Make sure to give them water, a potty break, because if they go potty on the course, you will get a disqualification on that run. And then just make sure your dog's doing okay, they're not showing any signs of stress, anxiety, or anything like heat exhaustion. But then basically you're just going to run your second test, and then once your second test is done, and there will only be 2 tests every day of the event, so the max you can have is 2. So once your dog has run its 2, then you can either just watch the other dogs, or you can go home and you've completed your first FastCAT event. So because this is a beginner's guide to your first FastCAT event and how to make it a success for you and your dog, I'm going to include in the description links to both other channels' videos and then articles from other websites I found helpful when preparing for my first event. Now, there are some things I did not cover exactly, but these videos do cover it, so that if you watch this video and other videos, it'll help you fully cover and understand and be prepared for the first FastCAT event. I hope this video was helpful. I hope that you have success with your dog on your first FastCAT event. I know that Resa just loved it, and I will definitely be doing more. I'm signed up for a couple more this summer, and we're really excited for it, and we're hoping to get Resa's miles per hour up past the 25-mile mark. Now, don't be discouraged if your dog goes really slow on their first time. Resa's first run was a little over 20 miles per hour, but by her second run, because she knew where I was and she just knew exactly what to do, she clocked almost 25 miles per hour. So she made a steady, good 4-mile-per-hour difference between her 2 runs. So it may take a couple events for your dog to get up to the speed you know they're capable of. But it's all worth it, and even if your dog's just having fun and not getting really fast, but if they're happy, excited to do it, that's all that matters. Alright, well, thank you so much, everyone. I hope this video is helpful. Please comment if my tips and tricks worked, especially how to prepare your dog by using the white rag and the long lead technique. And I hope that you have a blessed rest of your day, and good luck at your first FastCAT trial. Alright, bye!